Monsties, are you ready for the most mind-blowing news today? Because seriously, the world is literally bowing down to our Japanese queen. Who else but Asa from Baby Monster? It is incredible how she has not even reached 2 years since her debut, yet her influence is already at the level of a global fashion icon. You remember how Asa Core caused a stir among Korean netizens until everyone in Seoul wanted to dress like her? Well, if you thought this trend would stop in Korea, you were dead wrong. Hold your breath, monsters, because now Asa Core has officially crossed over to her home country, Japan. And this is not just ordinary viral news among fans. 2 fashion media giants from Japan just dropped a bombshell on X and Instagram that has sent the fashion world into an uproar. They specifically mentioned Asa Core as the new standard for youth street style today. Is this the beginning of Asa's total dominance in the global fashion industry? Why is the Japanese media essentially bowing to Asa's style? And what trends will emerge next because of the influence of this girl born in 2006? Let us dive deep into the phenomenon that is Asa Core. Do not blink, because we are going to thoroughly break down why Asa is the IT girl who cannot be stopped. Okay. Before we discuss the madness in Japan, we have to backtrack a bit. For those of you who might have been living under a rock, what exactly is Asa Core? So friends, Asa has a very different aura. On stage, she is an ace who can rap at the speed of light, but offstage, she is the definition of a true fashionista. Asa Core is a term coined by netizens to describe Asa's style of dress, which blends effortless, edgy, and chic elements while still looking very expensive. Just look at her airport fashion photos. Asa often wears crop tops, baggy pants, chain accessories, and glasses with unique frames that immediately sell out after she wears them. Her style doesn't feel like something forced by a stylist. It feels very much like her own sharp personal taste. Korean netizens on forums like Pan and The Coup have repeatedly said that Asa has the most authentic Gen Z vibe. She doesn't just wear branded clothes, she knows how to wear them. That is why the term Asa Core was born. In Korea, this trend is like a new religion for young people in Hongdae or Gangnam. But who would have thought this trend would explode even harder in Japan? Now, here's the main course. Recently, 2 of the most influential fashion pages in Japan, we don't need to mention the names, but you surely know the ones that serve as a mecca for Harajuku kids, suddenly posted photos of Asa. It wasn't just one photo, but a compilation, and what made fans scream hysterically was the caption. They openly used the hashtag AsaCore and wrote that Asa's style of dress is the primary reference for this year's autumn and winter trends. Imagine Japanese media, which is usually very selective and has its own aesthetic standards, actually yielding and acknowledging that Asa is a trendsetter. On X, this post immediately received tens of thousands of retweets within hours. Japanese netizens, who we know are very fashion-forward, immediately gave an extraordinary response. Many said, finally, there's an idol who truly represents modern Japanese style, but with a glamorous K-pop touch. There was one Instagram post from a prominent fashion editor saying that Asa has the rare ability to make ordinary clothes look like a runway collection. She is referred to as having a visual king energy, but in a female version. Versatile, sharp, and very magnetic. This is not just about being pretty, it's about attitude. And Japan has truly fallen in love with Asa's attitude in dressing. Now, the question is, why Asa? Why not another idol, especially since there are so many K-pop idols who are also beautiful and fashionable? Well, let's talk about facts. First, Asa has a body proportions that make everyone jealous. Whatever she wears, whether it's an oversized hoodie or a tight miniskirt, her proportions always look perfect. Second, she has main vocal vibes and main rapper swag in one package. This aura of self-confidence is what makes her clothes come alive. In Japan, Asa is considered a national pride. As one of the few Japanese members in a group as big as Baby Monster, Asa's success in the fashion field is a slap to those who used to doubt the talent of Japanese youth in the K-pop industry. Asa is not just good at rapping, but she also has a creative mind. Remember, she also participates in writing lyrics. That creativity carries over to how she chooses her clothes. Fans on Twitter have even started making long threads about the guide to dressing like Asa Core, starting from the brands of sunglasses she wears, the types of boots she chooses, to the way she styles her hair, which often looks messy chic. Everything is analyzed. This is a level of popularity rarely achieved by a rookie idol in Japan in such a short time. Seriously, I personally get goosebumps seeing Asa's development, from a trainee who struggled hard in final evaluations, now to a fashion icon in 2 countries simultaneously. With the viral success of Asa Core in Japan, I can guarantee that soon we will see Asa sitting in the front row of Paris or Milan Fashion Week as a global ambassador for luxury brands. Mark my words. But what do you think, monsters? Do you agree that Asa is the most fashionable 5th-generation idol right now? Or do you have another idol whose style you think is cooler? And for those of you in Japan or who have been there, have you started seeing people dressing in the style of Asa Core on the streets? Write your opinions in the comments section below. I really want to discuss this with you. Don't forget to like this video if you are proud of Asa's achievements, and of course, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the latest and hottest updates from the world of K-pop only here. But the phenomenon doesn't stop at social media metrics. It is fundamentally shifting the economic landscape of high-street fashion in Tokyo and Osaka. To understand why Asa Core has such a generational grip, we have to look at the architectural shift in how Gen Z consumes cool. Unlike previous generations who looked exclusively to established magazines, today's Japanese youth are looking for real-time authenticity, and Asa provides exactly that through her curated yet seemingly spontaneous wardrobe choices. Industry insiders in Japan are calling this the Asa effect. When those 2 major fashion outlets mentioned her, it wasn't just a nod to her popularity, it was a strategic acknowledgement of her power to move inventory. Retailers in Shibuya 101 and Harajuku have reported an unprecedented surge in demand for items that mirror her signature aesthetic, specifically silver-toned hardware accessories, distressed denim with asymmetrical cuts, and those iconic nerd-chic glasses that she wears with such effortless defiance. This isn't just a fan following, it's a commercial revolution, where one girl's closet is becoming the blueprint for a multi-million-dollar retail shift. What makes this expansion into Japan so significant is the reverse import prestige. Usually, Japanese idols go to Korea to adopt K-pop styling, but Asa is bringing a hybrid identity back home. She has successfully blended the fierce, performance-ready silhouettes of Seoul with the experimental, layered eccentricity of Tokyo's Ura Harajuku scene. This hybridity is exactly why fashion critics are obsessed. She isn't just following a trend, she is an architect of a new visual language that bridges 2 of the world's most influential fashion capitals. Furthermore, we need to talk about the psychological impact of Asa Core. In an era of overproduced perfection, Asa's style feels accessible yet aspirational. It's core because it's a lifestyle, a mix of don't care attitude and highly curated precision. When she appears in a simple, oversized hoodie paired with high-fashion technical gear, she is telling her audience that fashion is about contrast. This mastery of high-low styling, mixing luxury pieces with accessible streetwear, is the holy grail of modern marketing. Brands are currently scrambling to identify which specific vintage pieces she might be wearing, as the resale value of those items skyrockets on platforms like Mercari and Depop the moment she is photographed in them. We also have to consider the timing of this viral explosion. Japan is currently experiencing a massive Hallyu 4.0 wave, where the appreciation for K-pop has evolved from mere musical consumption to a total lifestyle integration. Asa, being a native Japanese speaker who has mastered the Korean industry's rigors, serves as the ultimate bridge. She represents the globalized local, someone who understands the nuances of Japanese modesty and layering, but injects it with the bold, unapologetic energy of a YG entertainment artist. This synergy is why those fashion outlets didn't just report on her, they campaigned for her. They recognize that she is the personification of the modern, borderless youth culture. Looking ahead, the implications for Baby Monster's brand partnerships are massive. We are seeing a shift where labels are moving away from traditional pretty ambassadors towards character-driven icons. Asa's face is not just a canvas for makeup, it is a statement of intent. The Asa Core aesthetic leans heavily into the Gorp Core and Cyber Year 2000 trends that are currently dominating global runways, but she adds a feminine grit that is uniquely hers. This makes her an ideal candidate for brands like Balenciaga, Diesel, or even Japanese powerhouses like Sacai and Comme des Garçons. The narrative in the Japanese fashion press has also shifted from calling her a K-pop star to a cultural protagonist. This is high praise in a country that takes its fashion hierarchy very seriously. By being mentioned by outlets that rarely give such spotlight to rookies, Asa has bypassed the traditional years-long wait for industry validation. She has jumped straight to the top of the mood boards for creative directors across the region. But it's not just about the clothes, it's about the Asa silhouette. Fashion historians might look back at this period and note how she popularized a specific type of movement. The way she carries herself in these outfits, slightly slouched, hands in pockets, a gaze that is both intense and indifferent, is being mimicked by thousands of fans. This performative nonchalance is the core of Asa Core. It's an armor of cool that young people use to navigate a digital world that is constantly judging them. By wearing Asa Core, fans feel they are adopting her resilience and her ace energy. The data also backs this up. Search queries for Asa Baby Monster outfit have seen a 400% increase in Japan over the last quarter alone. Local Japanese brands are even starting to release Asa-inspired collections, using keywords that describe her specific style without naming her directly to avoid legal hurdles, yet the fans know exactly who the muse is. This grassroots adoption of her style is often more powerful than a paid endorsement because it suggests a genuine cultural shift rather than a forced marketing campaign. As we see Asa Core continue to evolve, it will likely integrate more technical and avant-garde elements. Asa has shown an interest in deconstructed garments and experimental knitwear, which aligns perfectly with the upcoming seasonal trends in Tokyo. This means the viral status she has now is likely just the foundation. We are witnessing the birth of a long-term fashion dynasty. Asa isn't a flash in the pan, she is a slow burn icon who is carefully building a visual legacy that will outlast the current trend cycle. This phenomenon also highlights a change in how YG Entertainment is managing their idols' images. There is more freedom for individual expression, and Asa is the prime example of how that freedom can lead to massive brand equity. By allowing her personal style to shine through in her daily life and airport appearances, the company has created a second stream of revenue and influence that doesn't rely solely on music releases. This lifestyle-first approach is the future of the K-pop industry, and Asa is leading the charge. In conclusion, the viral spread of Asa Core from Korea to Japan is a testament to the power of authentic self-expression. In a world of filtered perfection, Asa's gritty, chic, and sophisticated style stands out as a beacon of genuine cool. She has proven that you don't need to wait for a title to be a leader, you just need a vision and the confidence to wear it. The fashion world has officially been Asa-fied, and we are all just living in her wardrobe. Now, I want to hear from you. With Asa's influence growing this rapidly, which major luxury house do you think will be the first to sign her to a global contract? Do you see her more as the face of a high-end streetwear brand or a classic heritage label? Share your predictions in the comments and let's see who gets it right. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the fashion revolution, make sure to hit that like button and share this with your fellow monsters. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to know when a new trend drops.